Ladies and girls, boys and gentlemen, whatever, dogs and cats, welcome to 6ZEROS Live. This is episode 3. I'm your host, Jay. I got with me
JP. 3 is a magical number.
Man, I came with all that hype, and you just like, oh, it's JP, DC. See, that's just that DC-ness, you know. You chill now. You chill now after your rugged days. So we got an extra-packed show. We got a special guest, a guest that I hold like really dearest. Constance Carter is going to join us, and she's just such an amazing, inspirational figure in the Black community, an amazing entrepreneur, and we're gonna have her on later in the show. So we're gonna start off with this week in Black news, and the first topic of this week in Black news. I said I was gonna have sound effects, and I had the sound effects queued up, and it didn't work. I had some good sound effects from Martin and stuff like that, and it just wasn't working right now. So I'll have it next week.
Did you have the damn Gina queued up?
Man, I got get to step in. I got sit your $5 rear end down before you make change. I dubbed it and everything. It sounded like Baby BT. All right.
Nice.
All right. So first off, black taxes don't matter. Okay, and black taxes actually do matter. But what are we talking about? We're talking about the fiasco that's going on with Black Lives Matter organization and just how, you know, we donate to these charities, we give them our money, and then they do, some interesting things with it. Like we saw a lot of the exorbitant purchases coming out of the Black Lives Matter organization. JP, what's your thoughts on that?
Man, it's very, very saddening to see people, rise and then fall so hard. But we see this time and time again with those that, they come up off the community, and then the community asks them, for a leg up or something, and then they turn their rear end. So now we're seeing Patrisse Cullors, and many other of the figureheads just take a significant nosedive, and they're being investigated by the IRS and many other government entities for the nefarious practices.
Yeah, I know. We see all of them have dropped out of the organization, so. When the heat came, they all departed. So, one of the things is they're bringing this heat on the Black Lives Matter organization. I wonder, are they going to bring this organization to other charities? We've always had, thoughts on where's the money going with so many charities. Like when you go check out at the grocery store, they're asking you to round up the change and give it to charity. Are they going to look at all these other organizations that claim to have some altruistic benefit to humanity? Are they gonna look at them and see where's those funds going? So I hope that we see some some more scrutiny for these organizations, especially nonprofits. All right, next in Black news is the Super Bowl. Okay, Black people, we love the Super Bowl more than we love Kwanzaa and everything else. But as we know, there's been a lot of allegations with the NFL. One with race norming when it came time to play players. They said, "Oh, you're black. You had reduced mental faculties coming into the NFL." So we gotta race norm you and pay you less. So I'm kind of 50-50. I feel like as a black community, we need to be on code. Okay, I don't think it's the worst offense, but I feel like once you know about race norming, when you see how they handle Colin Kaepernick, it's hard for me to watch the NFL. I cannot support it. What about you? What about you, JP? You watch it?
So now, as a referee myself, there's certain aspects that I'll follow, but no, I do not watch the game itself. Speaking of the NFL, this is another nonprofit, but they are a juggernaut politically and economically in almost every state that has a major city, whether you're on the East Coast, the West Coast, the Third Coast, which is, down south. I mean, they're a big deal. And what was discussed on TBA's broadcast earlier this week was that they have whole intelligence apparatuses at some of these public and private high schools that track these children all the way back to like their youth football days, especially if you follow YouTube and some of these other, amateur streaming platforms that serve these athletes and their highlight reels. But honestly, I wouldn't say we should invest in it.
So do you think you're off code if you do? Do you think you're off code if you watch the NFL?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, you would be off code if you watch the NFL. It serves you no purpose. I mean, unless you're taking a part in like gambling in it. I mean,
yeah,
it would serve you no purpose.
And on the board, it was overwhelmingly a resounding. You're off code if you watch the NFL. So if you go on 6zeros.net, which is our B1 internet forum, if you go in there, you'll see that 6zeros members do not agree with you watching the Super Bowl. All right, and then next we're gonna move into our next segment, the zero down. Boo boo. So the zero down is where we get into the main topics of the day, and we also talk about things on the board. Okay. And one of the things we want to talk about is super important because it's the beginning of the year. It's about seeing your resolutions to the end zone. You see what I did there, JP? See your resolutions to the end zone, NFL? You see that? I'm pretty clever, right? Put that together. So it's about seeing your resolutions to the end zone. And one of the most important things about seeing your resolutions to the end zone was about making the right type of goals. A lot of the times when we create goals, we'll say, like, for instance, one of the biggest goals you see is I want to lose some weight, right? And the way we set that goal, we'll say, I want to be skinny in 2022. And you can't hold yourself accountable to that. That is not measurable. So you got to make sure you're using this. There's a good framework called the SMART framework, and it helps you create goals. And we also have a video about this on 6zeros.net. JP, what has helped you in developing your goals and creating your goals and seeing them to the end zone?
So I'd say one way, especially using SMART goals. SMART goals is about small incremental measurement. Like it's a measurable incremental type of goal that you can actually see yourself doing within a short period of time. So I'd say one thing that for me is the suit that I had. So during the past couple of weeks, I've been putting on the sauna top and bottom and going out during the day and just taking a jog for 2.5 miles. And, as soon as I'm done, jumping in the shower, taking the sauna top and bottom off, in that steady diet. And that's just for me.
Yes, and for me, it's about what has helped me a lot is, and I'm just going to break down the SMART goals, is make specific goals that are measurable, achievable, relevant, and timestamped. So one of the things that I like is specific. Okay, I need to make my goal specific. By the end of 2022, I want 5,000 members on 6zeros. Okay, and then I could measure that. Is it achievable? 5,000 is achievable. 20 billion is not achievable because there's not enough humans on the planet to achieve it. So make sure it's achievable. And is it relevant? A lot of the times we make goals that are not relevant to our life. So I might be building 6zeros, but if my goal is if I make another goal that's to be an astronaut, that's not relevant to my life. It's like, okay, now I'm like diverting myself. And also timestamp. Another thing that we do when we set goals is we do not put times to it. And one term that we usually say is like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is not a day; it does not exist. When you're setting your goals, say by say like on February 28th, I'm going to do X. March 3rd, I'm going to do X. Set times to actual time so you can hold yourself accountable. So when March 3rd comes, you either did it or you didn't do it. And if you didn't do it, you need to figure out why you didn't do it. And then figure out what adjustments you have to make. Maybe there were some dependencies that that were there, and you weren't able to lean on those dependencies. You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out, okay, I need to work on my dependencies. But we got someone that has taken their goals to the end zone, and I wish I had my applause right here, but this lady has taken her goals to the end zone and even further. And I would like to bring onto the show the one, the only Miss Constance Carter. What's up, Constance?
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
Great. How about yourself?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. So, one thing about 6ZEROS is we're all about Black empowerment, improving, ourselves individually and as a community. And you have some great content, and just to give some background, I watch Constance show on Fly Nubian Queen all the time. She always had great content. And she would have empowerment content, entrepreneur content, relationship content. But we're going to touch on that entrepreneurial content today because you could tell this is coming from someone that knows the game. Okay. So if you don't mind, can you just give us a brief background on who you are, Constance?
Well, I'm Constance Carter. I am the owner of Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. We're the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. I'm also a best-selling author. I have a few best-selling books. I got a t-shirt line. See this shirt right here? The Speak Life. Your words are prophetic. So I have a bunch of t-shirts that just have empowerment, conversational quotes on them. I am a cannabis investor. I am a commercial real estate investor, residential real estate investor, and mom to 4 amazing and beautiful children. And that's about it. I mean, that's my number one is being a mom. But everything else, comes secondary.
Awesome. That's beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. So one video that was very pivotal, and this is very important because everybody has all these aspirations, but getting from a goal or something you write on a paper to actually executing it and then get it to the end zone, that's another thing. And so you had a video that said, what the 1% do that the 99% won't, okay? And the 1% is probably not sitting around eating McDonald's playing Xbox, right?
Right.
So can you gave us some really good game in that. And one of those things was the ramp formula.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
It's about rising up early. Can you go to the ramp and explain that to the 6ZEROS listeners about ramp and how that has helped you?
Absolutely. When you said the one, I was like, well, when did I do that? What did exactly I say? Because I say a whole lot. But yeah, the ramp. I know what the ramp is. Yeah, I know what the ramp is. So yeah, the ramp, it is so important. And here's the thing. The difference between the 1%ers and the 99%ers is very little. It's very slight. And I think it's just a matter of knowledge. People they don't do it because they don't know. And if they knew the formula, they would just do it. And if they knew how simple it was, I think a lot more people would be a lot more successful. But really, it's just doing a little bit more, pushing yourself a little bit harder, running a little bit faster, going a little bit harder to reach your goals. So the ramp, this is what I do every day. You got to rise up an hour earlier. Rise up earlier than you normally would. So say if you wake up every morning at 7, wake up at 6. If you wake up at 6, wake up at 5. So every morning I wake up anywhere between 3 and 4. I'm at the gym, so you rise early. You do your affirmations. You say the I ams. And I challenge everybody to do your affirmations. Do a 21-day affirmation challenge, because if you can do it for 21 days, then what happens? You create a habit. And so then it becomes a part of your being. So you say your affirmations, you meditate, you pray, and then I go and work out, because that gets my juices flowing. When I'm working out, if I don't work out, it just totally messes me up. I'm less productive, but I'm doing my marketing when I'm working out. I don't go into classes. I don't do the spin in the morning. I don't do anything. It's just my time to just really get my mindset right, to just really get going for the day. And you really set your framework up for your day by whatever you manifest in the morning. And that's why the morning piece is so pivotal to how you're going to have the remainder of your day. So that ramp is everything.
Yeah. So now that ramp. So how does that ramp? Now, like there were certain instances that you talked about in that video where, like, how does ramp apply practically? Because, like, for instance, there was an issue where in 2017, you bought this you lease this gorgeous facility. You spent $89,000 in just furnishing it. Okay, you were excited, you were thrilled, and all of a sudden the city comes and says, "Oh, this is finito. We're shutting the building down," and so you lost that. Your business didn't have an office for 6 months. You lost some money. How did Ramp help you in that situation? How did that keeping that consistent routine? How did that help you weather the storm, if it did or not?
Because
if it did at all.
What I understand is how you change and set your mindset is how you're gonna go throughout the day. But here's the thing: this is what I know for sure. No matter what you go through, and we all go through things all the time. I'm going through some things right now, but what I understand is, like, I know that God didn't bring me this far just to leave me here. So when I lost the building, or when that thing happened, I fought to try to get something. I was out there protesting. I was on the news. I was getting all the other owners, whatever it took, because I love this building. I wanted to sleep in this building. It was so freaking dope. And I thought, man, we about to do something different in real estate in this area. And I just knew that, okay, God, I know you didn't have me paying all this money. I know that, like, there's got to be something better. I know that there has to be something. And I just stayed faithful. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do the best I can. And I moved across the street just so I could keep an eye on it, overpaid for rent. And then a situation came where I had an opportunity to buy a building that was even better, that was even cheaper. Like, my mortgage is cheaper than what I was going to pay for that lease. I get this building that is totally already furnished. It has an auditorium where I could have events with 150 people. It has a media room. It has classrooms. It has an incubator space where we could just network. I mean, it is totally amazing. And so that was the reason why I had gone through that. So a lot of times, I think if I hadn't gone through that, it wouldn't have even opened my eyes to the possibility to get this new thing. I wouldn't have even been thinking about that. But because I had to go through that, it just opened up other doors. So again, when you're going through things, when things are taken out of your life, when heartache happens, when if you break up with somebody, if people are removed from your life, then know it's for a purpose. If you know what your purpose is, and just stay the course, because we can get lost in the abyss of our misery and being in that valley because of circumstances and situations. And if we stay there, then nothing's going to progress. But if you're, and understand, it doesn't mean that the feelings of grief don't go away. It doesn't mean that the feelings of loss don't go away. However, functioning inside that and continuing to move in spite of, you're going to actually get to the finish line and see why you went through that. And then the prize is going to be on the other side. So I always remind myself, I have these affirmations in my phone. It says, don't fold. It says, greatness is on the other side of hard. It says, let me show you. It says, I just look at it every day and I remind myself, and see, it was already up. It says, greatness is on the other side of hard. Be diligent. You got this. Patience. Don't fold. All these things that I tell myself every day when I'm going through, or regardless, this is the mission, and it's bigger than whatever situation, circumstances you're going through.
Okay, so that's awesome. So you basically, some of the key takeaways are just always keep your mental health, always keep it in check, and Ramp helps you keep your mental fitness in check. And then also, you got to stay the course. Like you also said, you always got to apply yourself. You got to be all in. You got to go all in. And even when it's cloudy, when you don't know what's on the other side of that door, you still got to go through that door. Now, what would you say are some key things in running a business? Okay, like Ramp is individual, it's personal. This is what I do when I get home. What are some advice that you have for as business owners? What do you have for them? Like, what's important? Like, what are the skills that helped you get through that door? Like the ability to delegate or making decisions under pressure. What would be that version of Ramp when it comes to skills for an entrepreneur?
I would say the first thing that you should consider in being a entrepreneur or a boss, because I'm a boss, is I'm a servant leader. I'm a servant leader. Okay. So I serve the people who work for me. So I don't rule from an iron fist. I rule from a place of love. I rule from a place of of helping. I'm here to hold your hand, to help you along the way, to love you, to support you, to guide you, to lead you, to do all of those things. That's the first thing, is being a servant leader. Because my people who I work with, those are my clients. We have customers and clients, but they're my clients. So they're important to my business, and they understand. And so then they have a buy-in. And so they understand that, their contribution is important. I don't care how much they make or how much they don't make. Them being a part of it is everything. And so then when they're bought in, then they're going to be productive.
Yeah, that's super important, being a servant leader. Now, when being a servant leader, how important is effective coaching when you're making sure that your team is producing output that's required?
So me being coach or me coaching them?
No, you coaching them. Effective coaching. What role does effective coaching play in you being a servant leader?
Absolutely. The coaching is everything. It motivates them, it drives them, it keeps them going, it sustains them, all of those things. So, a lot of times, me, when I was in their position, daycare and diapers was my motivation. That's not everybody's motivation. Me being able to pay my bills is my motivation. Some people need motivation in other ways, and understand that everybody has different modes of motivation that they need. And so you just got to reach people where they are and make sure that you're available when they need you.
And that's also why one-on-ones are really important, because that's when you could determine those motivations.
Oh my God, that's what I'm actually doing one-on-ones. So I've been doing one-on-ones since October. I normally do one-on-ones at the end of the year with my agents, and so I'm still doing one-on-ones.
Okay, so one of those skills. So to get back, I took you off a little bit. So we were talking about the skills necessary as an entrepreneur. So you said that one was your key one was a servant leader, making sure your direct reports and everybody under you they understand that, hey, I'm here to serve you. I'm not here to just bark orders. We have a goal, and I'm here to help us all reach that goal. What's another skill that entrepreneurs need to have?
Well, I remember when I was my theme used to be, or my motto used to be, nobody works harder than Constance Carter, right? And so I was first one in, last one out. I was working the hardest. I was, and that's the way I built my empire. But there were a lot of things that I did that I didn't have no business doing. I didn't have no business doing a $20 an hour job. I didn't have no business doing some of the things I could have delegated and automated. And I remember being at a conference one time, and I was talking to a guy who owned, he was a CEO also. And I'm a CEO. You a CEO? I'm a CEO. And so I was like telling him all the stuff I did. He was like, "You're the CEO, right?" And he was really curious. And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, okay." He didn't say nothing else, but I knew that. Okay, man. It meant you ain't really operating like a CEO. You doing everybody else. But what it also does is it disempowers other people from being able to do what they're supposed to be doing. Because I felt like I could do everything better than everybody else, and I could do a lot faster, and I could produce a lot quicker. And so you disempower the people that work for you. So you need to just take the time and train them so that you can delegate properly and you can depend on the people. So I would say delegate, absolutely.
Yeah, delegation is ultra important, especially as you scale, because if you're trying to do everything, you're just going to slow the business down. Wouldn't you agree with that?
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I remember on I had a sports memorabilia business, and we at one point I was we had double revenue 2 years in a row, and one day I was in the inventory room packing boxes, and I sat in there and I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm supposed to be looking for a new opportunity, not shipping things out. So I'm like, something's wrong right now if I have to pack up boxes. I'm not supposed to be packing boxes. I'm supposed to be getting to the bag. So yes, delegation is ultra important. Being a servant leader is important. Now, I don't want to take too much of your time, Constance. I know you're out conquering the world. So to wrap the interview up, can you let us know where to reach you, and let me know where's my office at in the workspace.
Hey, come down anytime you want to. You can become a member of the Co-op Spot. Go to thecoopspot.com and you can get a membership. You can have a virtual membership. You can come out and hang out with us. We got a couple of events coming up. We have a adult game night coming up in April 2nd. Then we have a speed dating coming up April 16th. So we got some events coming up there, but that's the Co-op Spot. So come out, get a membership, come join some of our events that we have. That's cool. Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. We are in Stockton, but we are all over California. We're licensed in several states to do loans, so we can do mortgages all over the place. So, hit us up. You could also follow me on Instagram. I am Constance Carter, and check out my TED Talk. It's starting to get some traction. I did it about a year ago, and for about a year, it just sat kind of dormant. It had like 5,000 views, and in December, it just kind of kicked off. Now I think we're at 423,000 or something like that, and that was over a 2-month period. So, yeah, so it just really started to kick off, and people are loving the information. And it's called Google That Shit. And I know y'all don't curse on here, but that's what it's called. And it's called four investments we can make to close the wealth gap, because that's what it's really about, is closing the wealth gap at the end of the day.
Yeah, Google that shit. Google that tech talk. See, I just cursed. You're a bad influence. Will be Constance.
I'm a bad influence. Or Google Constance Carter TED Talk.
Yeah, so Google Constance Carter TED Talk. We appreciate you, Constance. I want to be like you when I grow up. This is an awesome black woman. This is just everybody. Look, research her and see people are out here doing it. They're out here getting it. Okay. We are some magnificent and majestic people, and we're out here getting to the bag. Don't let anything hold you back. Constance Carter is a great example of this. Applause for Constance Carter.
Thank you, Constance. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Constance.
All right.
Thank you.
Yo, so that was Constance Carter. What's up, JP?
Man, that was a wonderful.
She had a lot
of phenomenal
interview
with Constance. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, it was skipping a little bit. I think I probably didn't pay my cable bill, but yeah, she's awesome. She could give you watch her podcast. She gives you practical game on running the business. Someone that's been in it, and has scaled a business up to 7 figures. There's a lot of lessons that you learn as your business is scaling, as your revenue grows. There's a lot of lessons to learn, a lot about controls and systems and processes and things like that. So, link it up with people like that, and watching their content is super helpful if you are trying to take something to the next level. So we talked about the Super Bowl. We talked about being on code. We talked about businesses. What do you want to do after all that? You want to go on vacation. So,
absolutely.
JP, what are some of your favorite vacation spots, man?
One of my most favorite vacation spots was when I was stationed in Germany. I got a chance to see Florence, Italy. For those who don't know, Florence is one of the older Italian cities in the Tuscany region. And this place was really, really wonderful to me because I was able to put another stamp on my passport, but I got to see like the old Italian relics like Dante Alighieri, Machiavelli. I was able to get a clay portrait done by an Italian war veteran, and how just stuff seems so surreal. I would say another one would be Haiti, when I got to see the Citadel. That was really good too.
Oh, good. I'm glad you threw some Haiti in there, because a lot of times you ask black people where their favorite vacation spots are, and it just be everywhere but where some black people are at. But I'm guilty. I need to go to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? I've just been really starting to travel internationally, and I got to go see Ghana. But I hate when you ask black people where you want to go on vacation. They're like, Italy, France. Well, I want to go see the Colosseum. Like, yeah, nigga, you don't want to see the Mali Empire. You don't want to see too. But that's good. So Florence, how was the pizza, man? Did you have real Italian pizza?
They call it pie over there. They don't call it pizza. They call it pie. And then the ice cream, they call it dulce. Yeah, pizza makes pie. So definitely African diaspora, they have a campaign going on right now with South Africa. If you want to check that out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to check out. First, I want to go to Ghana, and maybe Nigeria. It'll also give me some good ammo if I get into it with a tether. I'm like, dude, I've been to your hometown, nigga. You're not that
It ain't
smart.
poppin'.
My nigga, I see why you here.
I want to
But
check out Ethiopia.
oh yeah, and then also Egypt. I want to go to Egypt and check that out. But one of the places I've been is one of my favorite vacations was a cruise. One of the cruise, man. It was my very first cruise, and I didn't go anywhere like super crazy. I went to Mexico, but it was just having everything included. It was just awesome. We did the chef's table thing on the ship, and it was just an awesome experience. And then we went to go see the geyser in Ensenada, Mexico. They call it La Bufadora, and it was just overall it was a great experience. And the importance of this, the reason why we're talking about this is because you have to take some time for your mental health. Like Constance was talking about, she talked about ramp and how she every morning she does that mental check-in, she does that mental refresh. If you don't do that mental refresh and get away, you're gonna have some issues. Like a lot of times we get so focused on the what's going on, current events. This guy got shot, that guy got shot. Take some time for yourself. Get away. Have a drink with an umbrella. You deserve it, man.
Exactly.
You be watching Tariq, and Tariq be giving a broadcast all about white supremacy. He be on a beach somewhere, like in some island on the Atlantic Ocean, and then there be people on there talking about, man, why you on vacation, man? Like, yeah, you're on vacation because you need to decompress.
Exactly.
How often do you take a vacation, JP?
Man, I try at least once, maybe twice a year. One will be further, and then another will be like a regional vacation, like somewhere up or down the East Coast.
Yeah,
I like to get away and go to Baltimore.
Yeah, that's me too. Hey, here's some videos from my last cruise. So this is the view from the balcony. This was zip lining. This was the chef's table. We had the delicious 5-course meal, wine on the balcony, lunch with a view, plotting and charting. This is me just sitting on the balcony trying to look GQ. But my black family, the overall point is, man, take some time, do something nice, have a nice steak, man. Enjoy life, man. You ain't just kind of sit there and be in the bubble. So, JP, any closing thoughts on vacations?
Man, definitely check out somewhere that is comfortable for you. Check out a place where you really wouldn't check out, or somewhere that's not trending. Like I picked Haiti for historical purposes, but then come to find out there was like other intricate things that were a part of it. Like I got to see the Citadel, but I also got to see Belly Beach. Like my guide told me, like, hey, you're not gonna think you're on Haiti when you get here. I got around the corner of that mountain. There was a bunch of like clear water. They're going to get fish 20 kilometers out, bringing it back fresh and cooking it. So definitely look for those hidden gems. And that's also what feeds back into, some of Constance Carter's preachings.
Yeah, amen. And then if you don't have the resources, at least just start basic, do a staycation. Go somewhere for a night, just to decompress, get away from the mainstream media all day and getting in that rut. Like, oh my God, another black guy, is shot or whatever. Take some time to get away from it so that you can come back fresh and ready to bring that heat. Exactly. And the last segment, I promise y'all, I'm gonna have the sound effects next week. I promise. Last is the plug, where we give highlight to a black business, place, thing, or something. So what do you have for us today, JP?
This week, I am highlighting True Detergent, a Georgia-based detergent founded by Ali Muhammad, Abdul Rahim Shahid, and Malik Salim, who also owns Champs Boxers. Now, Mr. Muhammad and Mr. Shahid are both Army veterans, but together they make a wonderful All three of them make a wonderful true detergent product. I came across this when I was an undergrad at Western Kentucky University, just scrolling up or down Instagram. And I was just like, man, I got to check this out. I ordered it. Now, I've ordered a couple of times afterward, but I was able to get on the phone with Mr. Muhammad after his interview with Dr. Boyce Watkins last summer. And come to find out, as we saw on the website, which you guys just saw, they have a free and clear line for those that are allergic to the fragrances. And they just released a fabric softener. And they also have the mini samplers on the website. So it's a wonderful, fabulous Black-owned project. So you'll love it when you get it. I mean, it's a wonderful product.
Well, that's awesome. So if y'all want some Black-owned detergent, check them out. And yeah, sorry, got a little choked up. I thought when you were saying the names, I thought you were saying the homeboy from Tribe Called Quest, Ali Shaheed Muhammad. I was like, the dude from Tribe Called Quest is making detergent. I'm like, talk about diversifying, bro. He's like, there's no more Tribe albums, so let me make some detergent. Hey, JP, so. Hey, so parting thoughts, man. What's going on, man? Parting thoughts on this episode.
Parting thoughts, stay on those SMART goals. Again, stay hydrated out here. The price of water is going up. Definitely get your peace of mind. Find your peace. If you can't go anywhere, find some peace where you are or go on a vacation. You got to be fresh out here dealing with, economic warfare. So that's all I've got for you.
And my parting thoughts are this, family. All right, make sure you just run your show, okay? If one thing you learn from here is today on this episode is just run your show. Take control of your life, man. Don't be a passive person in life. Don't let the winds of life just blow you around, okay? Remember that the people that control the earth, they're no different than you. They're no different than you. Exactly. They got up one day and said, it needs to change. And they changed it. Remember, the Anglos, the Saxons, they weren't always in Britannia. They went there and said, we go change something. And then, a couple hundred years later, the sun never sets on the British Empire. So remember that. You have the power to change your life. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't change your life. Just make sure you fine tune. SMART goals is a great way of setting the right goals, attainable goals. And Constance Carter showed you that when you set those goals and you keep your mental health in check and you lock in and you dedicate yourself to something, you can see it to fruition. And one part of that is don't be afraid to pivot. Sometimes you're going along and it's not working out, and you have the sunken cost theory. I put too much time in this. You trying to make a. You're like, you put too much time in. You're not getting the revenue, or it's not viable or sustainable. You're trying to come out with a record label and you're trying to sell CDs, and the CDs ain't working out. Pivot, put it on Spotify.
There you go.
Don't be afraid to pivot. My Black family, keep your head right. I just care about you, and I want you to be the best in life. Also, stop typing all crazy on text, man. Use proper English. See y'all later. That's been 6 Zeros Live.
Nice.